Joel, the Prophet Yoel. Locusts and Science, short point, bit of interest. Locusts change. Okay, the book of Yoel uses the plague of locusts, a real plague that actually happened in the time of Yoel or within his living memory. And he used it, he apparently meditated, one could say, on this matter, and he had a gift of prophecy came to him. And he seems to extrapolate from this attack of locusts to a future invasion of foreign soldiers over the land of Israel. At first, he compares the locusts to soldiers. And then in continuation, we understand that he's actually comparing soldiers to the locusts. So first he compares the locusts to soldiers. He's actually comparing this future invasion of soldiers to an attack of locusts. And ancient Egyptian writings also at time referred to their own soldiers as locusts invading other kingdoms. Or they compared enemies attacking them to locusts overrunning them. So this was a simile, a form of a metaphor that was known at that time. And locusts, as we said, they change. Locusts, they normally exist as grasshoppers, jumping around, being eaten up, doing their thing, and not hurting anyone. They're eaten up by birds and rodents, and also they fall prey to various parasites that feed off them. And then, when the change occurs, dry and wet phases, first it is dry, then it is wet, and the grasshoppers, who then before then have been rather solitary beings, they became gregarious. They can't get enough of each other. They group it together. They crowd in on each other, and this stimulates them. And so all their body functions speed up. And their bodies change, and the changes take place within hours, not days, not months, not years, not generations. Within hours, the body changes. They begin to procreate intensely, and they go through different phases. They change from one phase to another, and each phase is a separate entity. None of the phases can be considered an intermediate stage to the next phase. And each phase of locust is a distinct being capable of surviving on its own, built to survive on its own with its own ecological adaptation. And the differences between the different phases are so great that previously scientists often got confused with the different phases of locusts. Changing from one phase to another, they thought they were different species, when in effect it was the same locusts going through different phases, evolving from one phase to another, evolving, changing, being transformed to one phase to another. And in effect, this is a counter can be used in an argument against evolution, against claims of evolution. You don't need billions of years to make changes. Nature has its own inbuilt ability to change, to mutate from one type of being to another. It takes hours, it takes generations. It can take a few years, but it doesn't take billions of years. It happens because they're built to do this. It's a part of how God created these creatures. He created every creature. And we can extrapolate to this, to other things. How different historically different peoples change their colors. Different peoples change from one type to another. And this is admitted in the literature, but it is not dwelt upon. It's not elaborated upon. And when the environmental situation returns to normal or changes again, the locusts go back to what they were. It can take a couple of generations, but they return to what they were. They don't progress and remain as they are. They go back to what they were when the situation changes. Scientific excerpts from scientific papers on this matter It's quite interesting. In effect, it is one could say it negates the theory of evolution, natural adaptation, and all that kind of thing, or it doesn't negate it, but it places a serious question mark in front of it. It cannot be explained by the bright boys. They cannot explain it.